Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, the Rumpled One. Friday, March the 1st. The year's 2019. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap up. And I'm going to talk about Whipsaw because I've been receiving comments about Whipsaw. So we'll discuss that. So I hope you've been using money and risk management this week. And I hope you're going to use it again for this month, because we know how important it is. I mean, it's one of the few things you have control over, is how much you're going to lose per trade, what your position size is, and where you place your stop loss. So for the week, you can see here on the euro yen, exploded through the previous week's high. It's up 137 pips. And once again, all the gaps filled this week. So traders, if you're not trading this, that's okay. It's your portfolio. But if you've been watching, you see what can happen. Put in a new high for the year, and the year we're above the yearly open, above the monthly open, above the weekly open, and above the daily open. Now we're going to have very interesting month here, because you can see this first day range is outside of the week and outside of the yearly range. So we won't have these overlapping ranges right now. So it should be really interesting how this plays out over the month. And you can see here on the daily, we are now above the open of June 1st, 2018. So now we're above 3 monthly opens. And we are also within the range of June. So you see here, if you've got a red and a green, then you know you're within the range. 2 greens, you're above. 2 reds, you're below. Oh, just in case somebody's going to ask the question, that's the plot by date indicator. It's a 2016 donational. Oh, that reminds me, I should always tell you guys to subscribe to the channel and hit the alert bell, so when I put out a new video, you can be alerted. I always forget to do that, but I was watching a couple other videos this morning, and they all do it, so I guess I need to follow suit. Inside bar traders, you had your opportunity yesterday. Now you see here, we actually have an inside bar from 4 months ago. See, we can flip over to the monthly. You can see that. So it looks like we're going to get in. We might be able to get in that area. And you saw we touched it and pulled back about 22 pips. We actually did enter it because this is 127.49. And we had a high on 127.49. So we basically just touched it, breached it, and then it rejected it. Showing we broke out the daily high once again here. Got a range of 90 pips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs over 100. And obviously something's going on with dollar Canadian. It seems like it's been on a tear. Yearly highest open 2 hours ago. And since this is a new month, of course, the open, there's the daily highest open. So this line will move if we have an open up here for the highest open. It's also the lowest open, but we'll have to see what happens as the month plays out. Here we go on the buy zone. Now I'm going to start talking about Whipsaw. You see we had the pivot below the daily open, so there was a short bias, but as you can see here, first couple of hours, nothing. We went right through the buy zone, and the rest is history. So, Whipsaw. What about Whipsaw? People say, yeah, I go long there, then I hit my stop loss, and then I go short, and then it whipsaws. Is that really whipsaw, or is that price action? I mean, it's pretty simple here. You see what color the candle is, and I say H1. Now, part of looking at an H1 candle is where is price relative to the open of that candle. So you've got 60 minutes to see where price is relative to that open. Either up or down, right? Pretty simple. But, if you drop down to a lower time frame, you're going to see price maybe vacillate. But if you were to take this long, your stop loss was never threatened. So if you're getting whipsawed, then maybe your stop is too tight. Because what do we have here? We've got a distance of 20 pips between the top of the buy zone and the bottom, or 16 between the bottom and the top. Okay? That's not a whipsaw. At least not in my book. If you think somewhere between, 16 and 20 pips is getting whipsawed, I think you might want to look at your definition of whipsaw. And once again, I use the color of the H1 candle to determine which way I'm trading. Maybe this isn't a good example. Let's see if we can find others here. That was pretty much the same. Okay, here's one. I think maybe this is what people might be talking about. Okay, so let's say, here's the open of this candle. What happened? It shot up through the buy zone and across the weekly open. Then it started coming back down. Which way was price moving at the weekly open line? It was moving down. Even though we had a green candle, it moved up, it was moving down. Had you gone long here, you should have just stopped out. Now, you could say that's hairy hindsight because it could have come back and then taken off. But we don't know it at the time. I mean, perfect example could be right here. Maybe this candle went up and maybe it came back, and then maybe it took off. I don't know. We'd have to drop down a few time frames, which we can do. If you want to, we can go all the way down to the 1 minute, and we can look and see what happened. I mean, here you go. It went up, it came back down, gave you a chance to buy in again, went up. You can see what's it doing here. It's kind of just oscillating, gave you a chance to buy, came back down. So To me, it's pretty clear. Even if you're looking at the 1 minute time frame, there's no whipsaw. I mean, if you go long here and then you ride the trade past the open and down here, that's not a whipsaw. It just isn't. That's not being whipsawed. I mean, if you want to say, well, I'm getting in the trade and it right now it's just whipsawing. I mean, I don't even think that's a whipsaw. Now, you see this bar here? This, to me, for a whipsaw, you've got to exceed the range, the high frequency distribution of the range on a bar. Now, maybe this 1 minute bar, maybe you could call that a whipsaw. I don't know. It just came straight down. It didn't really, had it gone way up and then way down and back up. No, you see, it went up a little bit, came down a lot, went up a little bit. That to me is not a whipsaw. So, if this is what you're saying, well, I traded the buy zone here and then it went up and then it came back. Yeah, but it didn't hold the weekly open. See, prices, these lines aren't here just because. These lines, everybody's looking at that weekly open. Here again, it went up, it closed above, failed to make a new high, came back down. So, yeah, you had a whole 1 pip profit or half a pip, or you just scratched out. I mean, look what happened here. The same thing. The same thing. What's price telling you right here? I mean, it's saying it's not holding above the weekly open. I mean, right here it went way up, came back down, but it's just not holding. Then it tried to come up. No, it's just not holding above. Here again, it's just not holding. So it doesn't have to be the weekly open. All you have to do is just take the weekly open away. Don't even look at that line. What's price doing here? It's not holding this level. It went way up, came back down to the same area, and what happened? It went down. Came back up to the same area, went down. Came back up to the same area, and it's going down. The chart is speaking to you. Are you listening? The chart is showing you what price is doing. Are you paying attention? This is, once again, it's not that difficult. All you have to do is just look. And it's nothing emotional. It's just cold, hard calculations. And it's not even that much calculating. It's just observing, knowing. You look at the range. Has it exceeded the range? Is it still within the range for the time frame? It's not that hard. It really isn't. Okay, rat zones. Here we go. Rats have a chance. Red rats. Larry live trade. Okay, as you can see, we missed the pivot. Up to daily R2 again. Weekly R3. And as you can see, we've got another missed pivot. First day of the month, it's missing pivots. Price action, 3-ball, top, red at the line. Was there a whipsaw? I mean, hey, you were up over 10 pips. If you gave it back, that's on you. It's not a whipsaw. In and out of the wick zone. Right there, clean signal. No whipsaw. Right there, you enter, and it went up. As you can see here, is this whipsaw? No, this is just the price action at the tick level. It's just moving. And you got to remember, it's not moving much more than the spread at any given time. Here you go, Larry live trade. But look, what's it telling me? Chances are it's probably not going to hold. So, fellow traders, I'm going to wrap it up about the whipsaw. Hope you had a profitable month last month, and I hope you have a profitable week this week. And just remember, have a great weekend. When you come back to trade, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. Drain